Hey guys, Lieutenant Curious here today. I'm here with Season 3, Episode 6 of the Serenno Mini MOC series. Now, if you guys haven't seen the first 5 episodes of this season, after you see it, be sure to go watch those first 5 episodes so you know what is going on. Definitely a different thing I've been doing in Season 3 is mentioning the characters' names more and explaining their background a little bit. But for the most part, if you want to know what each character is thinking and exactly what they're doing, be sure to look down in the description below because I type out everything that all of the characters are doing. So in the last episode, which was episode 5, they had come upon a Hailfire droid, which is actually my favorite droid vehicle in Star Wars, and I thought it was a cool idea to add that, especially because it is during the Clone Wars era. And so right here, Sergeant Rash, who was introduced in this season, was looking for parts inside of it, and he's actually holding one of those parts. It is simply a T-bar. And so he's just holding that for basically no reason. He's kind of an engineer to an extent as a clone commander. So yeah, now let's get into that overhead shot of this mini MOC. Alright, so as you guys can see, this mini MOC is on a 32x32 base plate, and you can see there is one tree in the left corner. It is quite tall. There is a bush right here, 2 patches of sand, and as you can see on top of the rock structure is actually quite sandy, and I added some olive green patches just for that kind of mossy texture. And then you can see there are 2 patches of sand in here, like I already said, and a little kind of swampy area in the center with using some 1x1 trans green tiles and plates. And yeah, there is a lot going on in this. I am working on limiting the amount of minifigs in these episodes, and by doing that is by killing them off, which is why 2 of them have been killed in this episode. So now I will get into the first death. Alright, so what I really thought was cool about doing this Serenno Mini MOC series is having a lot of characters be brought in at a certain time and getting picked off one by one and getting killed, obviously. So that's what I did at the end of Season 2. I introduced a lot of characters, which happened to be the Mactan Rebels, and they are trying to get back to their headquarters so they can get more reinforcements to eventually get rid of these terrorists by killing them all. So this happens to be Braz, which is Cranul's second in charge, which basically means if Cranul is suddenly killed or something happens to him, Braz becomes in charge. And of course, in Season 3, Episode 4, Cranul was brutally murdered and killed by none other than Des Canoein, who you can see in the top right corner of the screen. So you can see this is Biffin Severin, who likes to go on the top of rock structures like you saw in the last episode and scout out. He found some binoculars in that underground 501st base in the second episode, and he was using those at the top of the rock structures to look out for the terrorists. And that's exactly what he was doing. He came to this rock structure, turned around, and there was Braz and the Umbaran terrorists right behind him. And Braz simply stabbed him in the back and pushed him against the side of the cliff there. And there goes Biffin's blood to the bottom of this little cliff here in a little puddle. And you can see he dropped his rocket launcher that he also got at the 501st base. Now, he and Toonfern Legram are very best friends. Toonfern is very smart, so he knows that he shouldn't be angered, kind of like clones were taught not to be angered, and Jedi were taught not to be angered by someone dying, so he knew not to get very angry and distracted by Biffin's death, as he almost could look around and see Biffin getting stabbed in the back right there. But instead, he is being smart and sees this Rhodian terrorist disguised in in 212th armor around the corner, so he decides to open fire on him, and he succeeds in killing the Rhodian terrorists. So you can see in this terrain, it is a little bit more simple than I've been doing it. Some of you guys have been saying, which I'm really glad that you guys are requesting this, that's exactly what I want you to do. Tell me what you think of the terrain and what you want me to change or keep the same in it, because I'm going to be continuing to do this terrain in the future. So you can see in this terrain, I made it a little bit more simple. It is a base color of green for the most part, besides the 2 patches of dark tan on the other side of the rock structures. And besides that, there is some patches of olive green here and there, and then some green and olive green stem grass, and some patches of these curly stems. So yeah, that's about it for this part. You can see the Umbaran terrorist running up here. I liked what I did with this rock structure. I had it slope up towards the peak, which is not very tall. The highest point of this rock structure is 4 bricks, same with the other. I did the same thing. I had it slope up, and this is a very skinny rock structure that just comes on through here. And you can see there is a small amount of vegetation on top of each rock structure. Most just olive green, curly stems, and stem grass. So yeah, now I will show you guys the other side where most of the Mactan Rebels, Dez, Maya, and the 3 clones are coming in to attack. Alright, so as you guys can see, there are 4 pretty main characters right here. There is the famous Spade, sitting right here looking over the rock structure to make sure that this Rhodian terrorist is being taken out, which of course he is, by Toonfern Ligram. There is another shot of Toonfern. And Toonfern is actually my favorite character right now. If you guys would like to, you can also not only tell me what you think of the terrain, if I should change it in any way, also tell me who is your favorite character currently in the Serenno Mini-MOC series. That can be anyone. That can be a bad character, a good character. So it could be Braz, who is now the leader of the terrorists, or it could be any of the Mactan Rebels, or the clones like Trantos, Spade, or Sergeant Rash. So yeah. And right here we have Jeffin Greybodge, who is another Mactan Rebel. He is running in here to attack. And Maya Kanuan, Dez's wife, is pulling out her pistol. So right here we have Dez. He is kind of sitting back and watching it all happen. He is kind of messed up in the head right now because not only did he lose his daughter, but he also completely went ravage on 3 terrorists with that axe. So he is not straight in the head right now. So over here, like I already said, is Sergeant Rash. And then we have Trantos over here, who is aiming at this Umbaran terrorist, trying to take him out. And I did a new technique here that I've never done before. I made a bush down here, which is made of just dark green 6x5 leaves. So I decided to add that in there. And now into the terrain. You can see down here, there are some 1x1 trans green tiles and a couple plates. And then there are some mushrooms there. And then as we get over here more, there is a patch of, quite a big patch of dark tan, just for that sandy texture that is definitely on Serenno. And you can see some of these black 1x1s here and there, because some of the grass is darkened. That's how I like to do my terrain on Serenno. So yeah, and I also added some tan here and there, just for some more dry type of sand. So yeah, that's about it for this episode of the Serenno Mini-MOC series. Now I will get to letting you guys go. Alright guys, that's about it for Season 3, Episode 6 of the Serenno Mini-MOC series. Be sure to leave a like on the video to help me out, and check out my Instagram and Novalug's Instagram for daily behind-the-scenes updates on all my builds on mine. And Novalug sometimes posts, not very often actually, we probably should improve that. And basically, we will actually be soon posting on that for an upcoming collaboration with the members of Novalug. So yeah, be sure to follow both of those Instagrams. and subscribe for some more awesome LEGO Star Wars content. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.